We will begin with this part, the conclusions. These reflections are the direct result of hours of observation and practical implementation in real classrooms, both in general education and bachillerato. They represent the reality of our educational context here in Loja. So we have to move to our first major conclusion, the foundation of success, the preparation. Um, Before stepping into the classroom and the instructional design, upon reviewing the English classes across all levels, it became absolutely evident the careful preparation is non-negotiable for success. It is not just about filling out a form, or it's about having well-defined goals. We observed that when sessions had logical sequence of action and varied activities, the immediate result was better student participation and the effective achievement of objectives. A class without a structured plan turns into the improvisation, and improvisation rarely results in meaningful learning. Then we have the integration of the linguistic elements. Moving on to the technical aspects of the language, the analysis show us the elements such as vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar are obviously critical. However, they take away here is not what to teach, but how to teach it. These elements cannot be taught in a vacuum. The static instruction of these aspects through the interactive and guide activities was what made the difference. When language is not present in context, and that is when students understand what a word or a rule is used for in the real life, their comprehension and engagement increase drastically, leaving the rote memorization behind and moving towards the contextualized use is vital. Then, in effective learning management, the third find refers to the classroom environment. The use of effective learning management play a fundamental role in maintaining order and creating a constructive atmosphere. What does it mean in practice? It means the effective planning of classroom routines, like knowing what to do, open entering, how to ask to speak, and the constant supervision, and above all, the activity involved of the teacher contribute directly to the student's level of attention. An orderly classroom is not a silent classroom, but rather a classroom where students know what is expected of them and feel safe to participate. And the regarding to methodology, we have harmonization of teaching methods. Teaching practice retired is a valuable lesson. We must not discard the traditional nor rely solely on the modern. The key lies in harmonization. The use of educational games and multimedia materials combined with the successful methods of questioning and collaborative work contribute significantly to greater participation. Students learn better when we combine the structure of a good textbook with the dynamism of an interactive video or a group debate. This blend creates much more suitable learning context for the 21st century. And our five conclusion highlights that there is no one size fits all recipe for teaching English. The observation underscored the significant role of factors such as age, linguistic skills, and environment. For example, we note a clear difference in basic education. Success depends on the explicit instructions, the strategic use, the repetition, and a strong visual support. Children need to see and repeat, Conversely, in high school, the primary and most effective approach was fostering the autonomy, motivating the students to speak for themselves, and ensuring that the language was highly contextualized to their interests and realities, such as their academic and professional future. Then we have the value of reflective observation. Finally, as a conclusion to this pre-professional practicum process, we demonstrate the observation is not a passive act. The reflective examination of classes show the systematic observation greatly helps to develop pedagogical awareness. For us, as future teacher, analyzing classroom experience allows us to precisely identify which strategies are effective and which need the improvement. This is the first step toward continuous professional growth, having the ability to critical self evaluate. And now, based on these solid conclusions, we now move on to the second part, the recommendations. These are concrete actions, guidelines aimed at the both practicing teacher and the future professional in English area. So, the strategic instructional recommendation. Our fifth recommendation is the English EFL teachers always proceed with careful instructional design. This involves ensuring a variety of measurable activities and effective communication stage. However, this plan must be flexible to adapt to the dynamics of the classroom. Secondly, we urge promoting the holistic integration of vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation through the meaningful activities. And thirdly, it is imperative to increase opportunities for the authentic use of language. The more real life situation we simulate in class, the more we will estrange our students' confidence and communicative competence. Uh, then, in the realm of management, it will be highly useful for institutions and teachers to implement the strategies that foster organization and positive interaction. Maintaining supportive teacher-student relationship using motivating activities is the foundation of the productive environment. Furthermore, we recommend integration, varied methodologies, and multimedia resource more consistently. The combination of communicative activities, collaborative work, and technological tools is not a luxury. It's necessary to facilitate the dynamic learning experience, the capture the attention of the current generation. Adaptation and professional growth. It is vital that the teaching strategies and activities adapt to the characteristic of each level. We recommend the educators design more visual and guide activities for young learners, while for all high school students, tasks that foster autonomy, critical thinking, and complex communicative interaction should be required. Finally, and perhaps most important for our profession, future teaching practice must continue to incorporate a reflective process, allowing teachers to critically analyze their instructional decisions and classroom experience through continued reflection. This will ultimately contribute to professional growth and sustain the improvement in the quality of the English teaching. In conclusion, systematization in our practice allows to transform the empirical experience into valid pedagogical knowledge. By applying these recommendations, we can significantly raise the level of bilingual education in our country and city. This concludes my presentation on the final research work, and I'm deeply grateful for your time and valuable attention. And I remain entirely at your disposal for any questions, doubts, or comments you might have. Thank you very much.